In this video, we're going to talk about 8 reasons why you shouldn't drive for food delivery apps. This is the first video in a 2-part series, so make sure to look out for the second video about why you should drive for food delivery apps. What's going on, everybody? I'm Zach Drives Fast for the Rideshare Guy, and in this video, we're going to talk about some of the downsides of driving for food delivery apps and why you may want to avoid them. Number 1. Unpredictable earnings. As we all know, 1099 delivery workers do not get an hourly rate. Sure, there's gimmicky programs out there like Earn by Time or Uber's Hourly Guarantee, but these are not actually an hourly rate. We as drivers get paid only based on the orders that we choose to accept. There's several factors that'll determine how much you make as a food delivery driver, one of those being the day of the week. For example, if you're driving on a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're probably going to see a lot more orders that are higher paying than if you were out at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. Typically throughout the week, you're going to see a lot more lunch orders from people who are on their lunch break from work and only ordering one entree, and therefore they're tipping a little bit less because the orders are smaller. The time of day also plays a pretty big role in this. Now, I kind of already touched on this, so I'm going to keep this one brief, but if you're driving at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're probably not going to see much action compared to 5 p.m. Another thing that makes drivers' earnings so turbulent and unpredictable is the season of the year. For example, the summer months can be notoriously slow, and unless you're in a vacation destination, you'll probably find yourself waiting around a lot longer in between offers. In my experience, there's not really less drivers on the road, there's just fewer offers to go around. Having said that, the winter months can be great. People don't want to go out in inclement weather, and they tend to order from food delivery apps a lot more frequently. This can add a ton of stress and anxiety about upcoming bills for drivers. I've had months that were fantastic, and I've had other months where I had to work 12 hours a day just to pay my rent. The second reason you may want to avoid food delivery apps is the wear and tear on your car. If something happens to your car, you're out of work. I'd like to tell you something that happened to me about 8 months ago. I had just wrapped up a delivery. I was getting on the freeway, and I started hearing a really nasty sound. I thought it was the truck getting on the freeway in front of me till I started getting off the freeway again. And I will never forget this sound because every time I hear it, it makes me panic and think that something's wrong with my car again. Well, despite me doing all of my maintenance on time or early, I ended up needing to replace an engine. So obviously that wasn't feasible with the year and model of car I was driving, so I ended up having to buy a new vehicle. Furthermore, we're not reimbursed for any maintenance that we do on our car. We have to pay for our own oil changes, our tires, and our brakes. On top of that, we also cover our own gas, and that definitely gets expensive. The third reason you may want to avoid food delivery apps is you're not going to get any sort of traditional benefits. This means we're not going to get any sort of 401k, retirement plan, or pension, so we have to plan for our financial tomorrow. In the majority of cases, if you get sick when you're a gig worker, you're just out of work with no pay. And that brings me into my next point. You don't get health insurance with gig work. You have to go and find it for yourself. Number 4, we cover all of our own expenses. Now, I've kind of already touched on this. We cover our own maintenance, we cover our own gas, but there's so much more than just that. Think phone holders, hot bags, parking, tolls. Not to mention, as drivers, we're on the road far more than your average person, and we get hungry as well. Many of us turn to fast food, and that definitely adds up. Number 5, a lack of human connection. Sure, we talk to a lot of people throughout the day, but those are typically very brief interactions, and we don't get to develop work friendships like most people do. On top of that, we're frequently in a rush and just want to get the order and get out of there. This has the potential to make the job kind of lonely from time to time. Number 6, potentially dangerous situations. We drive way more miles than your average person, and therefore, the fact of the matter is we're at a greatly increased risk of car accidents. Furthermore, a lot of these offers come through when we're driving, and we just have to quickly glance down at our phone screen and decide if that order is worth it. Drivers can be summoned just about anywhere. This could include areas with bad roads or horrible parts of town. Not to mention, this could be at any time of day or night. One of my sketchiest deliveries ever was going to a squatter at a condemned motel. For the sake of the YouTube algorithm, I'm not going to tell you what I saw there, but if you can think it, it's probably about right. Number 7. Doing delivery work can make a work-life balance almost impossible. The fact of the matter is, it's busy when people want to get together. People don't want to spend time with us at 3 o'clock on a Wednesday. They want to spend time with us at 5 p.m. on a Saturday. But the problem is, that's when people are ordering, and that's when we make the brunt of our money. Furthermore, if you have a family, you're probably going to be driving in the evenings when they're home from school or work, because that's when we make our money. If you're a sports fan, you can kiss that big game goodbye. You're not the only one who's rooting for that team that day, and people who are watching sports tend to order a lot more. Your options are either capitalize by driving or miss out and watch the game at home. Number 8, you have to be a self-starter. I am a notorious procrastinator. Sometimes I just don't want to get out of bed and go driving. But we don't get sick time with this type of work, so I'm not getting paid unless I get up and do it. We don't have a boss breathing down our neck, and therefore it's up to us how much we choose to earn in any given day. This can be a really great thing if you want to go off and do anything but drive, but it can be really terrible when rent comes due. And there's more than just driving. You also have to track your own miles, you have to keep track of all of your write-offs, and you have to file your own taxes. There is no HR department that's gonna make these things easier for you. What are your thoughts on my list? Is there anything I left out? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you haven't done so yet, please consider pressing the like button and subscribing to the Rideshare Guy. If you enjoyed this video, you may also enjoy this video where I talk about the 5 tools that DoorDash drivers are using incorrectly. I'm Zach Drives Fast for the Rideshare Guy. Take care.